Welcome to Pro NoCoders Office Hours, episode 282. I'm your host, Cameron. I am here with John and Sean today. Before we get started, this is your first time tuning in. We do this 6 times per week where you can bring your bubble questions, bugs, feature requests, whatever it may be, and we help you out. We can't promise answers, but we do promise at the very least you won't suffer alone, which is the big thing here. We get it right most of the time. So let's go ahead and get started. John, you were with us first. I'll go ahead and start with you, and then we'll move over to you, Sean.
Sean, you can go first if you want, because my stuff's a bit dull today. So, did you fix your broken link that was trying to log you in when you weren't logged in, or whatever it was?
I did. Yeah, I got it figured out. So what it turned out, and it's Cameron, right? Is that your name?
Yep, that's right.
So we were on a different one with Tanya the other day, and I was having this weird issue where on mobile, seemingly it would, for whatever reason, like a link would kick you out. It wouldn't, like it worked fine on desktop, but it wouldn't on mobile, and it was just really weird. And it turned out what it was is there's single sign-on for Discourse, a discussion forum, and because I was logged in as admin on desktop, it was treating me differently than I was on mobile. So that was the source of the problem, not mobile itself.
Gotcha. So it was just sort of competing.
It's just different behavior. If you're not logged in, it kicks you out. It kicks you back to the OAuth, the page or whatever. So, so I got it all worked out. I'm really happy with it. And then I also took it a step further and I put comments in line. So I'm actually embedding JavaScript in the page. So it pulls the comments for each podcast episode in line into the bubble page itself. So it's exactly what I wanted.
Good.
Yeah. Let me, can I share my screen though? And I'll show you what my current challenges are.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that.
Okay. So this says this is going to stop your screen sharing. So
yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay. So you guys can see my screen now?
I can,
Okay. So this is where I'm at now. I'm basically just, I got a lot done this week. This is everything I did. These UI bugs though, I transitioned everything over to the new engine, like the responsive engine. And I can understand how it's better. It's more deterministic. It's like, the way things are going to work, but it's not like drag and drop and put it wherever you want it. It really requires some thought. And I guess I'm just struggling with these issues here. I've got just a number of things that don't quite work right. So I'll show you what they are. And I'll put it in mobile because it's all. So I don't know if you just saw that, like I'll reload the page, but like this is issue number 1 is look how it scrunches together and then pulls apart.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's a nitpicky thing, but it's also kind of annoying. So that's one. There's this little you can see at the bottom, it's almost like the whole thing is iframed. So I don't know what's going on there. And let's see. And then here, the details page, same thing. It's got like this player is now embedded in an iframe. And let's see.
Oh, welcome, Tanya. Hello.
And then these items here, I don't know if there's a way, like if there's space for 3 of them, and so it's centered when there's 3, but if there's 1 or 2, then it all looks just off kilter. So I don't know if there's like a sensible way to make those work out. And then let's see, F details. So, and then this last little thing that, again, this is nitpicky, but like you see how the space between items here, I can't really figure out. It's like there's more kerning between the lines of the one item. It makes it look like this is an item. You know what I mean? Like it's
you have some line spacing there, and then so the line spacing between the text is greater than the margin between the 2 items, and so that makes it look a little combined, if you will. So which one would you like to start? Do you want to go to the index page and start on that first?
I
think that we could probably focus on that scrolling effect that we're seeing.
Okay.
Okay. And so typically what ends up happening is we've set constraints on our parent container here. So that would be the container that has the scrolling. And so what ends up happening is we send these constraints here to this parent container, and inside the children are greater than what we're dealing with. And so then it says, okay, well, we aren't going to let it get any bigger than this, but the content inside is bigger than this. So we'll scroll instead.
Okay.
And so we do have a max width set of 1050 from what I'm seeing initially. Yeah. And so what we could do, it depends on, of course, what you like. For websites, I'm typically a max width I set anywhere from 11 to 1300 pixels. We could also use a percentage based though as well. So I think that would be the first place that we want to start, is sort of changing that max width and saying that we want it a little bigger than it currently is. And we'll see if that fixes the issue.
Okay. You say, what'd you do? 1300?
Yeah, typically that's what I do for my my containers.
Okay.
So we'll see about that. And I like the fact that you're using Brave browser. I like that. I use Brave browser as well.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're seeing that it's still there.
I think it's because you've got the min width as 100%, isn't it? And you've got no padding. So if you get rid of that min width and make that 90 or something, I think that will bring it down, won't it?
Okay.
It could also as well be the children elements in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these children elements. Yeah, go ahead and click on that. So max width is 1,000. We do have competing minimum widths as well. So yeah, so the minimum width is saying we wanted 100%, but then we're saying, well, we actually only wanted 1,000. So it's a little confusing for this guy.
Okay. So kill the min width on the title.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, so then, oh yeah, that's why, because so I guess
gotcha.
I also I don't have a good sense of how to do like stacking containers and whatnot. Like, so I just kind of played with it until it worked. But yeah, if there's a better way to think about this, let me know.
Okay. So the way that I would approach it typically is I wouldn't combine the percentages and pixels. I would have them either or. Okay. So I'm thinking that one of the ways that you could do this, instead of setting a max at 100%, you could set it, or as at a pixel amount rather, you could set it as a percentage. Okay. So for your title there, the minimum would be, let's say 90 and the maximum would be 100 or something to that effect.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And you may want to apply this to both titles there as well.
Both. So this is a repeating element.
Oh, perfect. Yep, you're absolutely right. My apologies. It's early. It's early.
That's all good. And I need to do the same thing here, presumably, like make this one 100.
Yeah, I would recommend doing that. So it's going to look inside the page, I believe. Is that in a container? So looking at the page.
Well, so how do you, like, I don't want it to blow it out. If someone, takes their browser to like 1700, that's going to look stupid if it just goes all the way. So I wanted to constrain it at some point to a maximum width. How do you do that?
Can you open up your element tree?
Okay.
Okay, so we have group B, and presumably group B is that container that we're trying to make it to where it doesn't blow up, it doesn't expand. If somebody has like 1700 pixels.
Right.
Max width currently is set at 1050. I again do the 1300. Yeah. That's just what I do. You can experiment with it. I think that on most browsers, 1300 looks, or most screen sizes, I'd say.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but like to me, that doesn't look as good as how it was.
Yeah, sure. I understand that. So maybe we don't want to do 1300. Maybe we want to do closer to maybe, I would probably go with 1100. Or you could just do the 1050, but we have to keep in mind that one of the reasons we were experiencing that is because of the percentage-based layout as well. Or I would say the pixel / percentage that we're sort of competing with each other. Because now since we've converted that, it seems like it's fixed itself.
Yeah, that looks good. And that fixed it. Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We like that. Nice. And we can focus on one more for you. We can at least look at the header before we hop on over to John.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you see what I'm saying, right? With how it starts out squished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm all right, Cameron. I've only got one very small thing to go through, so unless Callum's got something to go through problem-wise, then take a bit.
Oh yeah, I don't mean to hog here if I'm.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
We also have Adam and Callum with us. So yeah, let's just look at this header real quick. Yeah,
I'm here to help Adam. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect. Sweet. So we are looking at this image, and then inside the menu group, go ahead and click on the menu group for me in your element tree. Okay, and we're saying that we're aligning it to parent. We're pushing it right.
Yeah.
Okay, and then click on that image there, and then we're saying that we're, again, aligning it to parent, pushing it left. So one of the things that I would consider doing is I would put these in a group, and then I would set the layout to be row. So right now, it doesn't look like they are in a group. They're sort of just placed there individually. So what you can do is you can click on both the image and the menu group, and then you can right click and then bring it into a group together.
Okay. Group them in a row container?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And I think actually it looks like it just put the image in. Well, actually click on group B. Is that the one that we had just created?
Oh, I think it might have just grabbed the link instead of the image. So we need to go menu group and this. I think the way that I did it wasn't a workflow. It was like a link that I superimposed over it. So maybe fix that. Is that the recommendation?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a couple different ways to do it. You could have it in the workflow, like on click, send to a link or send to a page. So doing it this way is an approach for sure. I probably would use the workflow method.
Okay, I'll just do that and then.
Okay, cool. Now we have the spacing on the container alignment. We are going to make it to where it is, I believe, the one furthest right. Actually, yeah, click on the one right next to it. Yep, furthest right. All right.
Okay.
Cool. So we can go ahead and do that. And then the parent container type, we can actually say, just put that in the middle because it's pushing everything over to the right now, where it says the alignment.
Oh, got it.
Okay. And I think that we have some padding somewhere because it looks like it's pushing all the way to the right.
Padding. Oh, this hold on. Okay.
Oh, no worries.
Oh, it's probably in the
maybe the image itself. Well, not actually, I don't know.
Maybe the menu group. Okay, yeah, there's padding there. So you take that to 0?
No, I think we can actually leave the padding there. So if you click on group B,
okay,
what you'll notice is that box, there's spacing on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, it goes all the way to the edge.
Okay. And
so if we were to blow up the site and like zoom out, you would notice that the header would start to pull to the right instead of be evenly distributed across. Okay.
So maybe on the image itself, you're saying there's something over here that's on the left that's pushing it out?
Yeah, click on that, the reusable floating header.
Reusable floating header. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. And so this is also now where when you want to add padding to either the left or right, you would probably focus on the group B itself. And then go from there. And it seems like right now we have some width constraints. So everything's sort of being choked when we make it smaller, and it doesn't, I think we're using a pixel based width, if I had to guess, for a minimum and maximum. Yep. Yeah, so that group B has a minimum of 20 or 1090.
Okay, so change that.
Yeah, depending on how you want to do it, I do 100%, so it's even across the board on whichever device you're on.
100. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and test that for me real quick. Let's see if.
Nice. Perfect.
Okay, cool. And then since we've changed this, let's go ahead and refresh that the actual site and see if that helps us.
Okay.
Everything's still sort of there.
Yeah. What's weird is it doesn't do it on the details page, like the episode pages. It only does it on this one. Oh, and I never put the link in there, so I can't go back. But it only does it on the homepage for some reason.
It's already cached it though, hasn't it? I guess.
Yeah, you want to try in a private browser, perhaps? That might be the solution.
Okay.
Now, so they're still popping up really close to each other. So it seems like it loads without any of the, well, let's see. So we're using 100% based. And so everything else on this page is going to be 100% or based on the content rather. And so if there's no content loaded, then it has no idea what 100% is, or it does, but not to what you and I would think 100% would be. So the way that we would do that, I guess, is on your index page, we'd set the, let's click on page index. And we set that minimum width, perhaps. Well, no, I don't know if we want to do that because on mobile it would look really weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's a little weird,
Yeah, it definitely is a little finicky. It is looking at the content. Let's see. Well, we're also inside Group B, aren't we? I think that's where we have the header.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Let's take that header out of Group B, and then I think that'll be our solution.
Ah, okay.
Ta-da! We've done it.
So now we just need to constrain it with the same, because now it's blowing way out to the sides. So we just put another container.
Yeah, you would do like a max width on that element.
On this element, floating header, max width. Oh, not fixed. Minimum, max width. Whatever we said, 1300.
I think we switched it to 11.
Or 11.
I think. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Ooh. No.
What in the world?
Oh, no.
Wait a second. That shouldn't happen. And then, so click on floating header. We have the vertical alignment there. Minimum height 70. Does not collapse when hidden. Okay, it is in a row format. And then click on Group B. The vertical alignment, minimum height, fit with the content.
Column instead of row matter?
No, column I think will be fine for what you're trying to accomplish here. Just refresh the page for me real quick. Let's see.
We did hold on, I wonder if this matters. We did do 1300 there.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, but that's now weird.
Are you using a floating group for the header? And your reusable element?
Floating group. Yeah, it's floating header.
I think that's probably where we're going to be getting this. So instead, well, there's a couple different ways to approach this. One, the way that I would approach it probably is instead of using a floating group, I would use just a regular group on your reusable element. However, let's say you want to keep that header. Then inside your Group B, where it looks like we've actually moved the repeating group out of Group B. But then if you didn't want to change it, we could add a margin spacing from the top of the height of the header itself. But so those are the recommendations that I would approach this with.
Okay.
And if I am understanding this correctly, it is a floating group. But so what I want to do is we could take a look at this a little bit later. I do want to go ahead and move over to John real quick. Know that he's been sitting here patiently, and we'll come back and tackle these responsive issues with you.
Sure.
Awesome. Glad I got to help you there. Yeah, what's going on, John?
Again, I'm fine. So let Callum and Adam go. I'm fine for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or however long they need to fix their respective circuits.
You don't have to be so polite, but okay.
No, I'm fine. It's all right, because I've only got something very small to talk about, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, gotcha. Well, Callum, Adam, how are you guys doing?
Tired.
Tired. You look a little tired.
Ouch, Cameron.
Hey, I didn't say he didn't still not look good. He still's a good looking guy. I just said he looks tired. That's all.
You look tired. Yeah, I feel like
Good
that's
save, Cameron.
Hi, Callum. So essentially, I am still just trying to figure out now the BDK version of Upload Care, because I just came to the conclusion with, I believe, Cameron, you helped me out with this last time, right?
Yeah, that one plugin.
Yeah, so basically it was just like there's no working around that zero code plugin. So I just wanted to double check because maybe I'm just not setting it up correctly. So I'm happy to share my screen. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get everything together. Cool. All right. Okay, so I'm not going to share my API keys, but I do have what I need to have filled out for this upload widget, right? This looks really straightforward. And right now, I'm just going to use it for one. And there's an image here, and I want it to be clearly displayed, obviously, after this. Like, I want the database to be updated after this upload concludes. So I guess from the workflow perspective, this is blank because whatever I was setting up wasn't working. So step by step, what should I do?
So put a button on the page.
Okay.
I mean, we can do it as when its files are greater than 0, but let's just do that for now. That's a sexy looking button, by the way. Is that your own design?
It is. Thank you.
Nice. So yeah, upload, and then let's just do start edit workflow.
Cool.
Make database thing, whether so add new thing to database, I guess, or make changes depending on what you're doing, but data things.
Okay, sure. Here, I'm just gonna stop here for 1 second, get a unique ID of a company, so I'm not doing a search, so it's just very straightforward.
You're doing what, sorry?
I'm gonna get a unique ID of a company, just so I know that like I'm updating that specific company, so I'm looking for that. Does that make sense? So it's like,
oh yeah, got you. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So I know where I should be checking in the database to make sure it even uploaded properly. All right. Back. All right. So upload, start edit workflow, make changes to thing. Well, I have to do a search anyway, but at least I know which company it's going to. Unique ID equals that. First item, logo. All right, what do I set here?
And then set the upload widget A. It's files.
Okay. And this does, it's a URL, right? Like this gives back a URL. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just try that. And actually, yeah, let's set the image to be the thing so we know if it works or not.
Yeah. Same thing. First item. Logo. It's really supposed to be that easy.
Hang on. I put another button on the page quickly.
Okay. And
yeah, now start edit workflow.
I'll just call it this.
Yeah. Right now, yeah, click here to add an action. Now go to plugins. I think it might be this. And then, yeah, it will be, check mine. There should be one in there for upload, I think. Where's my?
So set value and upload widget.
Yes.
Oh. There's also reset. So it was set or reset.
Okay, actually, let's just cancel this button for now. Let's just see if the way we did it worked the first time.
Okay.
While you do that, I will just go to my app and see how I've done it.
All right, I'm gonna put that over there then. I will preview. I'm gonna grab a random pixels image. All right. Wow. Okay, choose files. Yeah, don't know why.
That's weird. Right, let me see how I've done it on mine. Okay, so that's the issue you're having. It's not even that it's not disabling it, it's just not letting you do it. Okay, let me.
Yeah, I was wondering maybe is it
Mate, I think it's got to be your API key, isn't it? If
Here, let me stop share really quick. And I will just check. I got the exact I double checked, but let me just see.
That's so weird because it's not, yeah, like I can't, like, if you're getting stuck at that point, I can't even think what it, I thought you're getting stuck with the workflow. If it's not even letting you do that, it's got to be an API issue.
So there is an upload care public key that I'm looking at. It's filled out regularly, properly.
Yeah, let me just check mine and I can.
Also,
Now
for this third-party service,
the other upload care. So
yeah,
there's
upload care public key headers and then upload care public key headers dev. Put the same thing in both.
Yep, it's in there already.
Oh, okay.
For this third-party service, do you have to assign a URL for it to be authorized on?
I don't believe so.
No, yeah, I was just wondering if that's maybe the case.
Yeah, let me check my upload care and just see if that's.
And then also, I think you guys were alluding to that where there may be some competing upload care sort of working against each other there. You should maybe only have one instance of upload care, but
yeah,
no, I have multiple on my page, so it's definitely not that.
From the same plugin or from.
I have two plugins going. So look, I'm gonna take this, put it in my notes. One sec. From the other plugin, just so that it's empty and clear, because I do have another upload care plugin, the one that I was trying to make work before. It's okay. So now I've cleared that out. I'm going to reload the page and try this again.
And you've got your upload care set up and everything like that. And
yes, and I've seen the images get into the database properly, like on that end of things.
Oh, you have. Oh, so they have gone into the database. Sorry.
Not from this plugin, from the other plugin. So this has been a journey.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, I think I already did this. Yes. Reload. All right. Choose files.
Don't drag and drop anything. Just click choose a local file and see what happens.
Sure. Pixels. Whatever.
We can't see your file panel, by the way, so it's fine.
Cool. Yep. Same thing.
Wow.
I've also tried the camera, like just to take a photo of myself or something, and that also can't upload.
I'm lost. I've never seen that. I mean, you've got the API key. You've got it plugged in. Yeah, I don't know, Tonya, Cameron, anything. I mean, you might have to
at their website right now. One of the things that I would probably do is open up your console, the developer tools.
Okay.
And so.
You mean in settings?
No. So actually on that page where you're getting the error, so your preview site.
Yep.
To open up your developer tools, let's see, what is it for me? Developer tools is Control-Shift-I, so more than likely Command-Shift-I. But you want to do it where you're getting the error, so on the preview page where that plugin is located.
Okay. Command-Shift-I. That's just trying to start an email. Because you're on Chrome, you're on Chrome, I'm on Safari. So I could send you the link to this.
I'll give you 1 second. You absolutely could. It is Option Command C from what I am seeing.
Okay. Option Command C. Option Command C.
No? Okay. Yeah, you want to send me the link real quick? I'll take a look. How curious. In fact, actually, I believe, so let me get on my account that you're sharing with me. I'll hop on. What page is it located on?
It is on Sandbox.
Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Okay, Sandbox. So this is it right here, right?
Yep.
I like the cheese ball. I made up for a friend's project. He's making a video game, and he said, "What should we name the video game?" And so my brain, for some reason, said Teddy and the Cheese Ball Gang. And he said, "Why?" And I said, "I have no idea." And so then we made cheese balls as the projectiles for the guns. Very, very silly. Let's refresh this.
The weird thing is, okay, so it's not the plugin, it's something with the way you've connected it, because I've just put a random element on my page, haven't changed any of the settings for the uploader, and it's worked. So it's got to be something with the way you've connected it up with the API, or I mean, I've just checked through the Upload Care account as well, and I can't see anywhere where I've entered like a URL for my project or anything like that.
Not getting any errors in the console. Let's see.
You wouldn't though, because it's all self-contained within the widget, I think.
Okay, so I mean, I'll check out the API connection, and hopefully that's a fix.
Yeah, I've just gone like integrate on there. There's nowhere that I've put like a file name or like a project name or a URL or anything.
Cam, when you were poking around the API of Upload Care, did you see anything where I could just like test it out, or is there anything like that, just to make sure that it's running right? I mean, I'd be really surprised if it weren't, just because things were populating. But again, I'm just going to redo the whole thing, build it from scratch.
So are you asking if like what the API is capable of in the sense of like being able to do everything?
No, just like a test, like, you know how like, for example, Path fixes like test connection.
Oh, gotcha. No, I didn't see anything like that. I don't think they do give us like demo API keys. Somewhere on this their documentation, but I don't think that I had seen a sandbox or sort of like a playground.
Okay. Adam, I am going to just private message you on here on TM. Put that API key in and just give it a go with mine and see if it's related to your API key.
Okay. Thank you.
The free plan requires account verification before uploading non-image files. No, we're uploading images though, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Have you verified your account? Because I mean, I can upload images and video. I don't remember verifying my account anyway, unless it's just like email verification.
I think it was just email verification, and I'll look into that again, but it worked before, which is why I'm like, and you know, that doesn't mean anything these days, but I will give that a go too. All right, so yeah, I just put in your API key, so maybe it's not an API thing. Gosh.
Well, no, okay, so yeah, that probably means it's not, and it must be a platform related thing. I tell you what, go to your Upload Care account. I don't know, maybe you've exceeded the number of calls you can make or something like that. So go to Upload Care, just don't click on API, and maybe go to billing and see how many calls you make, because it will tell you if you've maxed it out.
Okay, dashboard.
You can show us as long as you don't go to the API key.
Let me see. I don't think the API key, no, it is on here. The API key is on here. I've only uploaded 27 files. So
yeah, but if you go to billing, because maybe you don't have a card attached and that's why it won't let you do it.
Billing. Okay, I'll upgrade to Pro, but then the thing is, you just gave me yours. So have you upgraded to Pro? From what I understand, you were on 20. So
yeah, I am. So you're right. It should. Yeah, that's weird. So obviously you've gone into you've gone into like project settings and you've set up a project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, things are populating, right?
It might be a case of messaging Gaurav. Because I've never seen that, even when I was playing around with it to start with and wasn't getting it right. I've never seen it say we can't upload it. Always uploaded to it, and then.
Then I'm wondering, Adam, did you reach out to the support email that they have?
I haven't, but I just noticed something in the integrate portion that's proxy. I'll take you guys to it. Let me just share my screen. This is likely it.
I saw that, the add a domain bit. I haven't got anything in there.
Oh.
I mean,
I'd recommend trying that though. I definitely would. That was my first thought, was that maybe we need to let the site know that we're using a particular domain.
That's what I thought, but it shows the domains you've added. I haven't added any domains, and it still works, which is the weird thing.
This is very interesting. The only other thing that I could possibly think of is that it's a weird DNS issue with where you purchased your domain from, which would be interesting. Whether that was like Google domains or like Namecheap or wherever. I am wondering if something is happening to where this plugin's looking at some settings inside your URL and it's saying nope. So I would approach it with this. It could be different from Callum's case, just being that the DNS provider you're on is slightly different. But
I actually haven't connected a domain to this yet, because I'm like, what's the point of it until I do, like, until I'm out to
Gotcha.
testing. So there's not even, it's just a bubble domain. One thing that I'm thinking of, this might sound silly, but it might be the case, is that like I'm located in the US and Callum's in the UK. So is there anything to do with that, like as far as permissions?
Huh. That is interesting. I honestly couldn't tell you. Typically, I mean, the United States it's much more lax and lenient with internet permissions and security, privacy, etc. My best recommendation, honestly, is to message their support and to see what you could potentially find or what they could potentially help you with. I think that they are probably going to have the solution to this.
Okay.
But with that, I do want to hop on over to John.
Yep.
We're going to take some time and help him out for just a little bit, and then see what's going on. But awesome. Thanks, John, for waiting so patiently. What are we helping you with today?
No problem. Let me share my screen.
That's all it shows, is that you just stick it on. Like there's something wrong with the plugin. All it says, stick it on there, stick in your upload care key, and that's it. So there's definitely something wrong with either where you are or the plugin.
Got it. I'll ask them in support. Thank you.
Superstar, yeah. All right, John. You got some magic for us, huh?
So this is just a question rather than anything else. So I've got all these filters here that are fine and they're working more or less. And you'll notice that if I change page, I have got more or less the same filters on this page as well, but they're in a different order. So I'm wondering whether or not, because I've got to put these on about 5 or 6 pages, and these have got custom states and all sorts of things going on. And I'm wondering whether or not, in terms of if I made this a reusable element, my question stroke issue is, so on this page, this one would be impressions. On another page, it would be pages, etc., etc. So I can obviously use conditionals to show and hide them depending on what page you're on. But I don't think that I can say, well, okay, for example, make on this page, make the questions the first thing, and on the other page, make the questions the last thing. So where I'm going is, I'm wondering if I can make this reusable or not.
Well, I think that I think that you could use reusable element, but in terms of ordering, trying to think, because you would probably use a filter and then set that filter as a conditional. I mean, either way, you're definitely going to be using conditionals. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because there's nothing in, if I go sort of in here as an example, ignoring the fact there's nothing in here where I can go in and say, so, in here as in layout, I can make this first as an example. You can't do that within a conditional from what I can tell.
Yeah. So I think that so on the reusable element for each dropdown, I think you would have a series of conditionals with filters that say if the filter page is this, then display this as the display for each one. So a little tedious, but it is doable. And then once you get that done, obviously wherever you drop it based on the conditions you've set, it would be really fast and straightforward. You wouldn't have to manually drag and drop. It's just a matter of, I believe that would be the approach. So if you wanted to use a reusable element, at least in my brain, the way that I'm thinking about it is that for each dropdown, you would specify what option set or which display you're going to be pulling from based on parameters on the parent group or the parent page.
I'm just not sure whether that's going to be any quicker than doing it individual on each page, I guess is what I'm going in my head.
Now, I've said what I've had to say. However, I do want to consult Tanya. Tanya is the wizard. Is she able to provide some insight?
So I'm just thinking like how we might abstract the ordering of which is which.
The only way I thought of doing it, and then I thought, I don't know. So let's say this page is the order you've got it in, but on the next page, let's say page comes first, then query, etc. I could effectively have two pages, one here and one at the beginning, and then say, if I'm on this page, hide the first page element, if you see what I mean. So it wouldn't show it. But that seems a bit of a poor way of doing it.
Yeah, I might still, I don't know, because you have some workflows that are attached to all of these, so I might still put it in a reusable, but then oftentimes what we'll do is we'll duplicate reusables to make the shifts or the changes that we need to make in each reusable. And that's more about reducing the number of elements and workflows that are actually on the page, because that will speed things up. But I'm almost thinking that you would make these different custom drop downs that you have and make this a repeating group. And then you can sort the repeating group, and you'd have to have a way to sort the repeating group, but you could change the sorting of the repeating group if it wasn't a repeating group.
Yeah.
So
okay. I'll give it a bit more thought. I'm not sure whether it's worth a hassle or not really, compared to just doing it the way I'm currently doing it.
Yeah, I probably I would just keep going the way that you're currently going, and then eventually over time you'll figure out how you want to do it instead.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That was it from me. Thank you.
We're gonna hop back on over to Sean momentarily. I know that Sean, we had some responsive issues we were looking at. How did that go? Did you get that figured out with the menu? With the header?
I've been tinkering. No, the answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw John posted a what looks like a helpful tutorial. I guess like getting my head around just how this works now with rows and columns and containers and how to think about this stuff. It would be helpful. I'm just like, honestly, you don't want to know how much time yesterday I spent just like trial and error on this stuff. So
I bet. I believe it.
Yeah, like once I understand, I guess, like what I'm doing, then this becomes a lot easier.
That video is good. I watched that a while ago. It's long, like an hour and a half, but it's good.
Okay, I'll definitely commit to watching that. For now, can I just pull back up and maybe you can talk me through what I'm looking at?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, once you nail the concepts of columns and rows, and then how they're sitting relative based on like the parent container. Once you nail that, it's super straightforward, and you're going to ask yourself, how did I not get it? But I absolutely understand approaching it from from like a beginner perspective. It is challenging. The concepts can be a little confusing, but once you get it though. So we're looking at this right now. You have the page. We're on.
Yeah. So
details.
So just to be clear, like the live version of this is not broken, but it's also not right. It's cheating. So I used a fixed width group. Like this whole thing is fixed width, and I'm trying to move away from that so it's truly responsive. So now that I've done that, it's blowing it apart. Something is pushing the page out here.
Okay, so we are. Okay, so let's start with the page episode details.
Okay.
So we don't have width for the UI builder is 1200, but minimum width is 0. So we're not saying that it needs to be any kind of width. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and head to group D. Let's go one by one and see what's going on.
Okay. And there's going to be stuff like this where like I just didn't know what I was doing. So it looks like there's a group within a group here.
Oh, that might be exactly what needs to be. We'll figure it out though.
Okay.
So let's click on group D there.
Okay.
We're saying a max width of 1150 and a minimum width. We don't have a minimum width. It is in a row. Okay. And let's go to everything group. So we're setting the minimum height. We're setting the max width. Okay.
But this is 1050 within an 1150. That's kind of weird, I guess.
And so if you don't mind going to the other tab where there was the actual preview page.
Okay.
So we're looking, scroll up for me for a second. And we're looking at, firstly, the title looks to be a little larger than what the page is. So let's go ahead and click on the title on that. Yeah. Minimum width is 0%, max width is 100%. Fit width to content. Okay, and then we have some padding on that. That doesn't look bad to me. I think that's how we'd want it. And then, so we're just you and I are gonna click basically through all the groups and just sort of get a basis and understanding of what is sort of the structure of everything.
Okay. So, yeah.
Just looking for minimum widths. Okay. Width is 50, not a problem. Now the link, so this is where you had shown on the bottom where the things were spilling over, right?
Yes, the links were one of the things that we're pushing. So those were going over, and then also I think this whole player, this group right here is pushing out.
Okay.
Everything's out, isn't it?
I think there is one element that's impacting this entire thing, and I think that is the fixed width player.
Okay.
So where is that hiding?
So that's right here.
Width of 380. Let's do a width. Let's change right before max. Let's add a let's add a prefix of width right before width. Let's add max and then hyphen. So in the code, we're gonna add.
Okay. In up here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
max. And then hyphen. Okay. Now I said this before. I had seen that we have the layout. This probably isn't going to be a huge. Let's click on layout for me.
Okay.
And then make this element a fixed width. Let's click out of that. And let's just set the max width as well as 380.
Okay. And do I need to change? Oh, okay. So that's what that did.
All right. And let's go ahead and refresh that page and see, does it shrink when we want it to?
Okay.
Okay, scroll down for me. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on your console tools. Oh, actually, so perfect. Wait, that did change.
That's no longer offending there. So that's good.
Okay. Scroll up. Okay, so I want you to shift everything to the left. I want you to, like, if you were to scroll it. Okay, now what I want to do while we have it like this, I want you to go to in your console developer tools, the top left-hand corner where you have the square with the mouse, or yep, exactly. And so now let's go and sort of hover down the page and see what's going on and where it's happening.
Okay. Anything in particular you want me to?
No, we're just sort of seeing if there's any element that's actually pushing out.
You had a margin of -1 just a minute ago. That will be causing you problems. Go up.
Where?
Go up. There. You've got negative margins as well.
Okay, scroll up a little bit for me. And we're looking at, that's fine there. That group seems fine. Well, actually, that group might be a little over, but okay. Keep scrolling down for me. Okay, so that right there, this down here, it seems like it is pushing over. So we'd find this, let's see, that's at 390 right now. Well, we are at 390 as the width, so it's not too crazy. Keep scrolling down. Okay. So that seems fine right there at 370. That seems like,
yeah,
those extra 20 pixels on every other group, it would seem. So what is that group right there? Scroll up just a pixel, just a tiny bit. Or go down just a little bit. It's in between those two. Go down a little bit more. Yeah, this guy right here. So we have a margin of 5 on the right.
okay.
So that would be I guess the container that's holding all of the images and all of the links, I believe, right? So let's go back into our design and click on that guy.
Sorry, where I didn't really see where that's coming from.
Where do you have? I think it's on the right where I have the problem and SDG impact.
Okay.
So it's that container there. Let's select that container, the parent container of all of these different groups here.
Okay.
And then go to layout, and then so the width is 390 as a fixed width. We're going to want to select that and make that, let's say, max width of 390.
Okay.
And then also scroll down. Oh, you want to still be on that guy. You still want to scroll down on that.
Sorry. So this the big group. Right,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And for testing sake, yeah, let's get rid of that margin. It may be necessary to make it actually look good, but I just for testing. Now we did make it no longer fixed, so I'm thinking that this may slightly help.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. I think there's another group here that has a fixed width. So let's go to that links page or that links element.
Okay. Well, so this is supposed to be under that. Like this is supposed to be the title above this.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So this is a perfect use case for column. Also, peace out, Callum. You have a good one, dude. So this is when we'd use a column. So as like a column is top down. So the parent group for links and then the individual links. Can we click on that? Are these in a group?
This is a group, yeah.
So group H, can you expand group H for me?
Yeah.
All right, and let's click on group J. I don't think it's group J actually. So text links.
Yeah.
And then repeating group episode. Okay, let's click on those two together and let's combine them as a column.
A column. Okay.
And so now what we can do is we can, perfect, assign it to the left. And we can do the same thing for that body as well.
That. Okay.
I think there's, it's on the actual text. Yeah. And then what I would do is I would make this, no, the fit with the content perfect. That's what we want. So at least in approaching the top down, that's going to help us with that. Let's go ahead and see if this does anything for us on the actual page.
Okay. It's not wrapping these long ones.
Okay, so let's go ahead and click on that group. I think that's the repeating group is what we want to be looking at. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now we have, I'm just looking here. Okay, click on layout. Love you, Ton. You have a good one. Peace out.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we have horizontal alignment. The max width is 100 fit with the content. Well, this does look the way that we'd want it. Now, lastly, let's click on the actual link itself, that blue link. Let's get rid of max width. Say, that's nothing. Yeah, and we just sort of experimenting here. This is a little weird, I have to admit. And then
Maybe
click on group I for me.
Group.
Yeah, fit with the content. That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the group. We have the minimum width. Let's get rid of that minimum width.
Okay.
And let's say now that the max width is going to be 100%.
Okay.
All right, let's see if this helps us.
Okay. Looks still. It might be the solutions one, maybe.
Yeah, use the inspector and the Chrome tools again for me real quick, if you don't mind. Yeah, let's scroll to the left there. It does, or to the right, I guess. Just push everything over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it does give us the width. It says that the width is 390.
Okay. 390.
And it's showing that it is pushing over to the right. So let's see what we can do with that. So we changed the parent container.
Yeah.
And this container layout is fixed.
Okay. Row.
So for that, it doesn't, I don't think it is a huge deal, but I would probably pick column.
Okay.
And the reason I pick column is just for solutions at the very least. And the reason there is because we do have things stacked on top of each other. And so column is good for stacking. And rows are good for putting things side by side. So that's why I'd approach it like that. But okay, cool. We've gone ahead and removed the fixed width. I think this will be very big for us. Let's go ahead and go to our preview and see. And it could be a couple different elements inside that group that have some similar layout if I had to guess. And we just changed solutions, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one by one, let's click on that repeating group. So we have the max width set at 100%. Yep. And then this is fixed as well. So it really is just eliminating all those fixed widths.
Good.
And since the parent container is saying that the max width, I believe, can only be 50%, if we say that the max width of the child container is 100%, or at whatever pixel amount, it'll just be referencing its parent container's width.
Okay.
Okay. And I think that we probably should do this for everything else as well. Let's just go and see what we can find here.
I'm going to disappear, guys. Enjoy picking through this. Welcome.
Enjoy your Friday night, John.
World of
Yes.
Responsive Engine. Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Have a great one. Take care.
Bye.
And so, yeah, it really is all of these fixed widths that are going to be competing.
Okay.
And once you got that, though, I have confidence.
Does it? Okay. So yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. So we'll focus on at least getting rid of that fixed width before we make it look pretty.
Okay. What does fit width to content do exactly?
For text specifically, it wraps the text. Or I should say, if the text is only like 30 pixels, then the container will only be 30 pixels and so on.
Gotcha. I seem to have lost the player, the embedded media player.
Oh. What?
Yeah, it was right here. I'm not seeing it though.
Expand the right sidebar group on the element tree.
Right sidebar group. Okay, there we go. Embedded player.
So the height.
Make first, maybe. Next.
So it's pushed all the way to the right. And it looks like it's only 1 pixel. Yeah, it's right there where your mouse was.
Okay. Okay. So we need to do a min width of 390 on it, I'm guessing.
We want to make it less than the max.
Okay. Wait.
Honestly, I'd probably do 100%, to be honest.
100%?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That way it's fluid.
Okay.
Now, the issue is that inside the HTML, we say that the max width is 380. So if we preview the page, what does that look like for us? Okay, not bad.
There's good, yeah.
So honestly, all of this, it really is going to be that you have certain elements with a fixed width. That's going to be truly why this is happening. There could be another reason that this could be happening is because these elements that are fixed have a weird margin spacing on them. But that would be...
The strategy is to do what we're doing, just like basically eliminate all fixed widths and then kill the margins for now and just get it at least working and then pad things to make it look good.
That's exactly it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, man. I don't want to take up the rest of your Friday evening. I think this is probably, I at least understand.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the strategy. That's the approach. You know where to find us. We'll be back here on Monday, or you can just go ahead and ping us on Slack, in the general channel, or message us individually. Love to help you out. Not a problem. But yeah, cool. That's how you do it.
Awesome. Appreciate the help.
Rock on, Sean. Glad to be able to chat with you. You have a great one.
Cheers. Have a good weekend.
You as well. And then Adam, let me go ahead and call you on a, oh wait, let me go ahead. Yeah, we'll talk later. All I want to say is we are going to move now into after office hours. We're going to wrap everything up. You can join us if you are on the developer membership of Pro NoCoders, where we have, turn off the cameras. And if it's more sensitive, where we're showing API keys or whatever it may be, you don't have to worry about that information being compromised. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. And